Hello viewers, welcome to our program on Immigration and You. I am your immigration attorney Michael Fulwani, and once again we have with us my partner David Nachman. David,
Michael,
welcome.
nice to see you.
Pleasure. Today's program is of great interest to many of our viewers who are green card holders. Now, very commonly, people that have a green card holder, they travel, especially the elderly parents I have seen, or the parents who really come to help the children, and children are here, they go away back and they come, maybe they know that if we be outside of the US for more than 1 year, we're going to lose our green card. So some people just come back and forth once a year, maybe stay 1 or 2 weeks or 4 weeks, go back. And I always tell people, this is not a driving license that you are coming to renew. You are a permanent resident. You have to maintain your permanent resident. If you abandon your permanent residence, you lose your green card. Not only if you are out for more than 1 year, even in some cases, you are out for even 6 months in a year, then that is considered in many situations as having abandoned your permanent residence. So be very, very careful on that. And the consequences are like this. Try not to remain outside more than 6 months. That is definitely helpful, but doesn't take away the authority of the government to even raise those issues in that case. Remaining outside for more than 6 months also affects your application for citizenship, because Immigration Service looks at having abandoned the residence. So what happens if somebody does it anyway? Somebody has remained outside of the 1 year without a re-entry permit, lost the green card. The option is that there's a category called SB1, under which you can apply to the American Consul, convince that you are settled, you are living in, you have never abandoned your permanent residence, but there were unavoidable circumstances that prevented you from going back to US within that 1 year period. But not easy, it's pretty tough. And in some cases, the SB1 is denied, or you don't want to do that. With sometimes suggestion, forget the SB1, just file a, if you're a citizen, you're asking for the parent, just file a new I-130 and get a new green card, no big deal. This is the background of that. But something that David wants to tell you today, he recently, we went through, there's a memorandum from the CBP, that is the Customs Border Protection, which goes into this as to how they look at when the person is coming back from India, Pakistan at the port of entry. That's the first place. I'm a green card holder. Say, wait a minute. They look at it from what point of view? What does CBP say? David, you go ahead with that.
Well, I think, Michael, you properly pointed out that a lot of people, and especially I think that our Indian clients, think that there's a mathematical formula involved where they think that as long as I travel within the year, everything is fine. I've actually had several clients who have come to me after they've tried to do it this way, and they've ended up in proceedings, because what ends up happening is that if they go back and forth and it's the same routine all the time, then the officers flag those cases and say, well, you're not properly using your green card because you're not really a lawful permanent resident. All you're doing is you're making that entry for the purposes of preserving your lawful permanent residence, and that's not what it's about. What it's about, and this is some of the guidance that recently came out of the CBP Liaison Committee, which is helpful for our viewers to know, is that what it's about is a totality of the circumstances test. So what is a totality of the circumstances? What that means is that the officers are going to be looking at a lot of different things. And in this memo which we received, there's a lot of really helpful information that we can convey to you, our viewers, who might be traveling back and forth, hoping to keep your green card. Obviously, if you're making, the old rule used to be, as long as you make an entry every 6 months, you're going to be okay. And then if you go beyond 6 months, maybe you want to think about getting what's called a re-entry permit. And what is a re-entry permit? A re-entry permit is an application for permission to return to the United States, or it's a declaration that you do not intend to rescind or revoke or abandon your lawful permanent resident status.
Let me say a few words. Basically, if you are a permanent resident, you are maintaining your permanent residence, you are living here in the United States, but there are circumstances or some reasons that you have to deal with some family issues or property settlement or something, based upon which you file this I-130 and explain what the purpose of your remaining more than 1 year.
I-131.
Because I-131.
Yeah.
So that's the most important thing, that you have to show that you are maintaining, because even re-entry, I had a case like that, re-entry, but long time ago, 20 years ago, with a re-entry permit. And he came after almost 2 years, and they put him under the proceedings. They say, but you don't leave, 1 year, fine. You said you're going to go more than 1 year. But was it really that you are still maintaining? Were you still maintaining? Because when you are coming back, even with the re-entry permit, you are saying that I'm coming back to resume my permanent
To
residence
an
status.
unrelinquished lawful permanent residence
That
in the United
again comes
States.
to the same point.
That's
again.
right. So Michael, when we advise our clients about what types of evidence you can show
Yes.
to show that you are not abandoning your lawful permanent residence, what types of things would that be?
I can
For
explain.
example, tell
Yeah.
us. Yep.
And this is not new. Of course, CBPA is reconfirming what we have been doing for many, many years. Whenever a person comes in discussing about this, I say, your wife and children are here? Say, yes, my wife and children are here. I'm only doing my business there.
Okay, that's
I say,
good,
it's a big
yeah.
plus point. That means you are maintaining your permanent residence. You are
Correct.
filing tax returns. Your family is all here.
Yep.
Right?
That's right.
And then there were small things like small things. You are maintaining a valid driver's license. You have bank accounts. You have credit cards.
How about a library card?
A library, every single
Where are
thing.
you paying taxes?
Yeah, but I'm saying helps a little bit of coming from each piece.
Right.
Most important thing is what you do also. You are working in a bank in India, employment abroad. That is bad news.
That's right.
That's bad news.
And that's one of the things that they mentioned here that the officer should be looking at is whether immediate family members are not permanent residents. That's number one. Number two, did you arrive on a charter flight where most of the passengers are non-residents with return passage? Number three is there a lack of fixed address in the U.S.? Number four, are you employed abroad? Or number five, are there frequent and prolonged absences from the United
That's
States?
exactly what
So
I'm
these are the things that the officers are potentially going to be looking at to see whether you abandon your lawful permanent resident status. But what do you tell your clients, Michael, to help them so that they don't have this officer look at the case and say, oh, there's an abandonment?
Yeah,
What else
basically,
would you tell them?
there are bona fide situations which also CBP could take wrongly. For example, a person is really a green card holder, doesn't even have the family, but he is in an import-export business. Import-export business. So he has to travel a lot
Right.
to Hong Kong, to China, to India, to other places, right? He has a company here,
Right.
a business here, file the tax returns. But he says, I have my business, that is my business.
Right.
For example, people who are engaged in a jewelry business, but they spend a lot of time with the designing, with working with the manufacturers, telling them what we need and all that frequently. Right? There are people who are in the dresses, clothing business. And I know they spend a lot of time
Well, they have
in
to go
India,
visit
other
the mills
places,
in the
working
south
with
of
the
India,
designers,
right?
working
Yeah,
with the
of course,
manufacturers,
yeah.
make sure the quality control is what is needed by them in the US. And then there are companies running here, they are paying taxes here. Every case is also different, I can tell you.
Well, it's sensitive to what's
Every
going
case.
on in
So-
the people's lives.
So I'll
right?
talk to the client and ask the whole family history, the family here, their business, what are nature. Then I'll give them the guidelines. They give them proper advice what to do. And there may be small things which they already have. Even having a bank account itself that never been operated in the last 3 years.
That's
Has
right.
no
It has to
meaning.
be active.
Active, like
Show some
he's
activity.
getting credit cards, he's issuing the checks, and so depending on each case, we advise them what is a good thing to do.
Exactly.
Although there is no such, the person really is not living here, spending most of the, foolproof thing.
Right.
But at least we can help him a lot in presenting his case to the CBP.
Exactly.
And many times the CBP, the nice officer says, I have so many cases, they don't do that, exclude them. They don't take away the green card, just them a warning. I'm telling you, I don't think you are living here.
That's right.
But this time I'm letting you go. But make sure that if you do that again next time, you may lose your green card.
That's
So they
right.
ask that, did they put that information in the
Right, and they're
computer?
giving a little advice to the
Yeah,
individual.
I don't know
when
whether they
enter.
put in the
Right.
computer or not, but even if they did not or they did, you have to really understand that this is what may happen
Right.
if you don't do the right thing.
Right, and I think it's important for our viewers to understand that if you're looking to maintain your lawful permanent residency in the United States, having a fixed address is very important. Paying your taxes in the United States is very important. Receiving mail, even if it's just junk mail, at that fixed address is very important. And what other things could they do? Certainly we talked about the library card, but it's basically the types of things. How about being a member of an organization, a social organization, a political organization, or a religious organization, and getting a letter from someone in that organization to say that you're involved there? That's the type of thing that you can use to show that you have not relinquished lawful permanent residence in the United
So,
States.
but I'm saying, yeah, all little pieces, the library card may help a little bit, but most important things are the family is here.
Right.
That's number one. Your tax returns you are filing every year, paying the
Correct.
taxes it is.
Critical.
And that the purpose, you always ask, what was the purpose? What were you doing in India for 8 months or 9 months?
Exactly.
People cannot answer because they are not ready, they are not prepared. So just meeting the friends, what do you mean meeting the friends 9 months? You are living here. How do you make your money? Or somebody say, oh, I have my business there. That means you are still remaining in India and you are permanently settled there and you are still conducting your business there or your employment there. How can you? You're not maintaining you have abandoned. To our opinion, our experiences, our knowledge is, our feeling is, our determination is that by doing this, it appears very clearly to us that you have abandoned your permanent residence in the US. So
Now,
this
Michael,
is, if we understand, what is a very good memo also, if we understand what we are saying, what CBP is going to look when you come back from a trip abroad, then probably you can always do certain things that we are talking about and be able to listen, a business card, small thing is business card. What do? Take a business card with the Manhattan, fifth,
Exactly, has the address. in the
301
United
Fifth
States where it
Avenue,
is,
New
exactly.
York, and all that.
Fixed address.
There's a
yeah.
phone number there.
Yep.
Phone number there. They pick up a phone and talk to the company. Somebody says, yes, who's your boss, who's the owner, such and such person.
Exactly.
They verify that. These are the questions people, the CB people ask the questions. A person is carrying a business card of Indian business. And all the papers show very clearly that he's living in India. For example, some people even bring those papers that are not necessary. But all those papers sometimes, and basically listen, CBP has the authority to check your luggage, take your pockets, search you, take any kind of papers.
Right.
And what happens in a secondary inspection a lot. One of our that big Bollywood actors was detained in the CBP in a secondary inspection. Of course, he was not a green card holder, but I'm saying whether green card holder or not,
But they have the right to inspect.
they have the right to inspect and they find these papers, and this is very difficult for that person, green card holder, to say what's going on.
That's right, our viewers who are traveling need
It's
to
a
know
little
that.
tiny thing, a business card, which is a US address.
Yep,
And make sure that they call that number, the person says yes.
that's right.
So if you are working, let's say even a friend's company, in a relative's company, you are working as a manager there, and you are in that company is in the import-export business, and the person is going out from time to time on the company work
Right.
here. He's get paid here, he's getting a salary here, but he has to go out.
Well, Michael, you made reference to the SB1 process. Let's just go back to that real quick. The SB1 process is an application process where an individual who feels that they may be abandoning...
SB1, what it is first, it's application for returning residents. So
Correct.
the person who stayed more than 1 year, he lost his green card, technically,
Right.
lost it.
Or believes that upon entry to the United States that an officer is going to say that they've abandoned their lawful permanent resident status,
Exactly,
right? I mean, if they have the green card and they can show it to the airline, it's highly possible that the airline's gonna...
No, David, no. I knew that's coming because long time ago it used to happen. Now the local American consuls have regular meetings with the airline staff, and they understand. And the moment you give them a green card and you see your stamp when you came here, which is surprising to me also. Recently I got 2 cases like that,
Okay.
where the officer said, oh, but you were outside more than a year. The airline. So they tell we cannot.
So the airline says, we're not going to let you board.
Exactly.
You want to go and you want to confirm that the green card is still good. This is the SB1 process. Go to the consulate.
No,
and get
airline
the
doesn't
approval.
say. It says get a letter or something from consulate that we
Okay,
cannot
the
permit
travel
you.
letter, the travel letter, yeah, yeah.
But it's difficult for them. They go to the consulate, say, no, that is correct. You want to, let's say, some person, I was in a hospital for 6 months. So you apply for SB1, submit all the documents. But SB1 very clearly says that SB1 will be approved only if you can show that there were circumstances beyond your control
that
you
allowed
could not go back
Correct.
within the time period.
Correct. And what happens if your SB1 is denied?
Well, SB1 is denied. Basically, I would say that
Request for reconsideration or possibly
very
an
difficult,
appeal?
very difficult.
Very difficult,
Unless
yeah.
the person just went in without any papers.
So
and
what do you generally recommend to them?
look at the case. It's a
Apply-
good case. No,
apply for the green card again.
Yeah, if it's a good case that we believe the council, if he was explained properly, if proper documents were submitted, he might have approved it. Then we may reapply again.
Right.
But anyway, so running out of time today.
Yes, we are.
And thank you very much, David, for being on the program. And thank all of you
you,
for watching
Michael.
the program. More and more of such information like today we'll continue to give you in our forthcoming programs. So keep watching us every Saturday and Sunday, ITV and Vision Avesha. Thank you very much.